Hello. We're the Dreadies. We're playing DreadLore tabletop role-playing game. And this campaign is called The Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
It is a modern game, 1982, culty, mythos, think Call of Cthulhu, in Detroit, except they're in a different realm called the Gloaming. These investigators are fighting the big bad evil guy this session. And it's getting pretty hairy. Wanted to thank all lowercase letters for the music, as well as Mr. Interrupt. Wanted to thank the Patreon people. If you want to join our Patreon and help us out, it'd be great. Patreon.com/DreadLore. Patreon people are Daniel Holker, Tim Roberts, Ember Alaria, and Natalia Cline. Would also thank the cast. Oh yeah, you guys.
To us?
Who you? Andrea Elliott-Johnson, Ken Howl, Daniel Holker, and the Drizzle. Every so often we have guest stars and this sort of thing, but not today, sirs. If I haven't said it, thanks to Couchfire Media Production for the production. Go to www.couchfiremedia.com. Check out what they do. And thanks to Trois Reblay Productions for us being too lazy to take them off of the loading scroll.
Whatever it is.
Thanks to our sponsor. Whatever they do, they don't do anything. Okay, this is the world action. Nord has thrown this alchemical black sand down onto the runes as it sizzles and sputters beneath him, still unknowing what the effect is. A mage's proper wizard's duel is happening between Nord and Loretta Levon. She's able to do several things at once, empowered by these runes. As souls whip around the room, you all are trapped in here, apparently. There is a door on one side, although it's behind a bluish magical shroud that you know burns you real bad if you move through it. Also, on the other side of the door, Nord knows that there's noxious fumes that will kill you. And beyond that, a collapsed underground building. You guys are in a pickle. Tony is literally putting himself back together. He's almost there. Rebecca Foster is being helped by, I think, given triage by Leah, all in the runic circles. Meanwhile, going along the periphery is Simon using his blunderbuss to tactically off these sacrifices that are still on the altars. Ibo, the strange archer, is in the back protecting Mariah, who's behind him, and he's still pulling this epic arrow out of his ass. All right, so that's the world action. Loretta Levon is moving back and forth between you, seemingly distracted. She is full of arrogance and power, erratic behavior, as Simon has gathered her attention. As Nord throws the alchemy down, you see she loses her patience, and she says as much. I'm going to
spend cunning.
Ah, indeed.
Yeah, me too.
How's this been cunning?
If you got cunning, spend it. All right, action is on you guys as you see Loretta pulling forth energy from the runes and the souls, maybe speeding things up, expediting. This is what you're interrupting and acting at the same time of, as she is glowing brighter, lifting off the ground. Ibo is still like trying to get this arrow out, crackling with energy. It's clearly taking a huge toll on his soul and body to do this. Okay, it's on you guys.
I started loading the blunderbuss.
You got it loaded
last time. Okay, I'm going to go to the third body and shoot it.
Goodbye. Make your chaos roll.
That is a 6.
All right, it's a +1 as boom, more energy explodes out. The souls whip around. Nord, you see a couple of the soul strands go into your staff, as also they go into Loretta's aura.
Okay. So that's not helping.
Are you asking?
No, I'm stating because it went into his staff and into her aura, so it's just speeding it up. So yeah.
Who knows? You could bid to find out.
Well, yeah.
You could do
Okay.
shit.
Well, I was thinking that was my meaningful action. So I will bid Street Smart to figure out if that's actually working or not.
What are you trying to make it do?
Well, I'm trying to find. I want it to. I'm trying to remove the batteries from her spell. So I'm trying to like depower it the best I can. I know that she's already got a ton of souls, but maybe
Knowing Street Smart or having Street Smart bidding that, she's clearly she's high on power right now.
Yeah.
But from what you know of Loretta Levon, she's not an idiot. In fact, she's actually rather strategic. That much Simon would have gleaned, even though you really haven't investigated her or the occultists much, like their personalities and whatnot. Like you guys really don't know a lot about them as people. But from what you all have seen, you have seen enough to know the dynamics of their deal. You and Nord have put a whole lot together. Loretta is probably the smartest one of them. Smarter than Lady K. Definitely smarter than Grimwald. So Simon might think, why even do this? Just because it's evil? Well, that makes sense. And she wasn't just waiting for you to get here to do it. So she hasn't monologued yet, right? She's not stupid. Why would she not just kill them if it immediately worked and sped up the process? As Simon realizes, he is weakening it. He sees the souls or soul strands, which I don't know if he'd know what that means, but he sees parts of the soul that escape go into Nordstaff and into Loretta. As it might dawn on him, he is stopping it short of what it should be doing. And it's splitting up because Nord's sharing the profits.
Okay.
So is it working? Yes. There's something about them on the altars that she wanted.
I'm guessing that it's more so the agony that you're
Perhaps.
that she's feeding off of.
I would say with the bid Street Smart, that makes sense. Because they don't look like they're having fun.
Right. Okay. And so that was my last blunderbuss ammo. But I'm going to put it away and pull out my snub nose and head towards the next. So I'm just making the
You're making around
Yep.
Okay, there is one more. For 3 of them were dusted, and there were only 3 left. And you've offed 2. There's one more.
Okay. Yep.
Who's next? Oh, you get around to the front of the room at this point, Simon. As we're going to say, you're coming around counterclockwise. Most of them are at the far end of the room where you guys came in. As you're coming around, you see that blue shroud moving, undulating as you sort of like move around it. And you can see on the other side, the tunnel is still intact. But there's this gas that's wafting around in there. And the bodies that are in there of the cultists, there's a couple of them that are moving still, but they look like they did not enjoy that gas. beyond where the door is, you see it's all fused, and what you can see is the room has collapsed in there. Has it completely collapsed? It's hard to tell, but you're going to get that view. All right, who's next?
Tony finishes putting himself together. However, there's a bit of a twist. When he was putting himself together, he wasn't really picky. So most of his gear is now in him. He is now part man, part baton, part 38 special, part wallet, and part dirt.
A man of many things. A jack of all trades, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is now in him. They are one with Tony.
Yep. What do you bid to continue this and do anything? You can move. You see all of what's happening?
I shall bid hard. Ranger.
Okay. As you do that, as you get yourself back together, and maybe there's like a baton sticking out like just a little bit this way. When you jump, something rattles in there.
Oh yeah.
Are you doing anything other than that? Are you moving?
I'm gonna go over and try and drag the corpse that Simon just shot away from wherever it was.
Sure. As you go over to it, you see that it's starting to dust as you can kick it off the altar, and it turns to dust. Terrible to breathe in, Simon.
Not that I'm breathing.
Leah and Nord, what are you guys doing?
I am now. I'm binding Rebecca's arm wound.
I'm sorry?
I'm binding Rebecca's arm wound.
Okay.
Yep. So I am, and I'll bid soldier to basically. My goal is to stop the blood flow coming out of her now missing arm.
Yep. As bidding that, you were definitely able to. Let me make sure she's not bleeding. Hold on. Yep. As you will.
Actually, Leah will give her a. Is it I forget which does which. Which actually heals is like juice, revive, and stem.
Anyone
like
help?
that.
I mean, it's alchemy. Does Leah know?
Maybe not.
You have an alchemist.
Can I get her? Can I give her my wits to help her?
Sure. I mean, you could just tell her if you want.
I wasn't paying any attention, so.
Juice, revive, and stem. I need to know which one does the healing.
I didn't hear what you said.
Juice, revive, and stem.
I don't know what that is.
The different
revive
healing things.
revives you.
Oh yeah, revive revives you from. I think the stem is what you want. That'll get her going. Okay. Maybe. Revive
is that your
I think revive is if it knocks you out. And what was the first one? I still didn't hear it.
Juice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what juice does.
That's in my other notes.
I don't have those options on my I have maybe not. It's a good question. Yeah, I think the notes I have are from the old version, so I don't have those particular.
Okay, so Leah will just grab the stem and give it and inject it into Rebecca.
I think that'll definitely pump her up.
As you give her the goodness, half of her plot armor returns, and she'll make a roll to see if she's bewildered. So, as she is not bewildered, she seems like she really enjoyed what you just did. Yep. As you juice her, she sucks in a bunch of air, flexes her muscles and stuff. Oh, I love that stuff. And she starts to heal up some with this alchemy.
Okay.
All right. Nord, what are you doing?
Oh, fuck. I am going to kind of concentrating once again. Now that I dropped this little alchemical thing, I'm going to bid adaptable and kind of assess where I am. Like, I clearly feel like I have difficulty moving from the spot that I'm in to see what she's doing. Is she pretty close by? Were we?
She's let's see, the room is, she's not standing next to you.
Yeah.
Let me see. How big did I make this? It's about half. The room's about 40 feet in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
She's 15 some odd feet away from you. Nearest the middle of the room.
Right.
Hovering, pulling in as much energy as possible.
Right.
So she's in the middle of her action. You're trying to assess. Go on.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to see what she's doing, so maybe I can counter it.
And what are you bidding?
Adaptable.
Bidding adaptable. She's obviously using magicka. That's obvious. Obviously runes. You detect. Do you have any packed magicka?
I have the Scroll of Death Mick and the Scroll of Runes.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
But I have a gross use of either one, so I don't think I have anything.
You can tell.
Pack.
You can tell. She's obviously using runes. There's a whiff of void magicka about her. Nord has definitely has seen void magicka quite a bit. Sure. There's a whiff of it on her. It's not that it's active though. There's something else. There's something tied to her. As you can identify it, Nord, through some of your research. It's esoteric. He hasn't really gotten into it, but it is pact magicka, meaning Loretta has made a pact with something, likely in the void, and has gained power from it. So what is she doing right now? She is fulfilling part of the pact.
Mm-hmm. I am going to bid on underdog.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to bid my fate justice.
Okay, what are you trying to accomplish? We'll go with that first.
Well, what I kind of want to start countering her connection.
You're trying to counterspell.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have to use runes to do that if you want to actually do a counterspell.
Yeah, but I was going to say using my fate as justice to activate the Scroll of Runes.
Sure. Is everybody cool with Nord dropping fate? That means no one else can do it.
Big baddie, sure.
Okay.
And so the idea is to stop, it's been my major goal for a long time. I'm going for it. I've learned a little bit, and I don't like what it's happening, and I kind of felt. I kind of feel what she's doing a little bit, and I noticed when Simon did that to the body, that the elements were coming into me, and so maybe countering the spell is just knocking her off a little bit kilter and pulling more in.
All right. As you start to do what you're doing, this is what you all are going to see. Loretta is hovering. She is pulling all of the energy possible into her. Anyone in the runes, she's trying to juice you too. But before that goes down, Nord's cunning. So, Nord, you've made your bid. Now you got to throw down. So this would be a chaos die. Do that first.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can save ourselves a lot of time.
It's 3. I got a 3.
Okay. I'm going to be a little bit of a dick here. Since you're in the middle of a fight,
Yeah.
roll it again.
Oh, nice. Even though I have upper hand. Oh, I guess that's sanity. I got another 3 though, so I think that's fair.
You are fine. Okay, as Leah, you're cool with Nord dropping fate, right? Okay. As you hit this fate of justice, of seeing justice done, you get a +2 to whatever you roll, right? As in +2 successes starting off, and all of your whatever you throw down has upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that should work is you roll, and remember just which dice get what, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you roll again, you take the best.
Right.
It works best if you roll it all at once and then pick and choose which dice you want to roll. But
Right.
that is up to you.
I don't have that many dice, but I get
Well,
where
you need more dice.
I need more dice.
We
I need to go to the
this man more
store
dice.
and
Hey,
buy some
Patreon.
more dice.
Okay, so we're going to find out how bad this is, how high of a threshold. It's a very high threshold. We're just going to see what she rolls. So,
Sure.
the rest of you roll a d12. And I will round it out with the last d12. Of course, I rolled like ass.
5.
9.
Okay. Does anyone want to drop proficiencies to change those? Because these are Loretta's rolls. I rolled a 4, by the way.
I will.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now.
And me.
So mine's now a 3.
3. So we're down to 1, 2, 3.
Let me.
And this is on top of her bonuses, of course, and all that bullshit.
Sure. No,
I
I'm
re-rolled
guessing
mine and it went down to 1.
One
guessing
success or just a 1?
Just a 1.
it's about a 10.
Okay, so it's 2.
Like an 8 or 10.
Are we counting successes?
Huh?
Are we counting successes or just giving you the number?
Successes.
Oh, no, it's no successes
Yeah,
then.
yeah, I got it. Holker,
Okay.
anything for you? You have to drop a proficiency to make a reroll.
Okay, yeah, I'll drop a proficiency.
Okay. And then re-roll and tell me if it's got any successes. Granted, if it has more, then he gets more. Kind of dangerous
True.
on a D12.
It is. I mean, 1 success is good on a D12 for us, if that's what they got.
What'd you get, Holger? You're muted, by the way.
I rolled a 2.
That's good. So that's 1 success. Anybody else want to do a proficiency to make mine reroll? I'm taking your resources.
No.
Okay. So that will give me knowledge on what this is going to be.
And I've been using a lot of resources. There's no way that I can hit the thresholds that I was getting. I started off big.
You gotta go big, man. I love it.
Using a lot of resources. All right. Do you want to know what I rolled? Oh, I got to throw down too, right? No,
Yeah.
I already did. I already did.
Oh, you did?
I already threw down. Yeah, no, you see Nord start trying to float again. He's not quite floating as well as he was before. It might be in part that he just demagicked himself a little bit with the stuff on the ground. But I got using the scroll of runes and my burning fate of justice, trying to stop her. I only got 7 successes in this moment.
All right. So, Drizzle, what's the threshold?
Threshold is 7 plus 1d4.
All right. So you're at limbo, except she is evoking the runes. Now the plus 1d4. This is that nice, sexy area where we get to play a little narrative. The runes have been marred by the black sand. That 1d4, though. Let's roll it. Who wants to roll it?
I'll do it.
Who's gonna take the heat?
I'll take it. Yeah.
What if I shut my eyes and I, pull from the ethers of all there is, and I couldn't use that adaptable to activate something, or that was the bid. I used that to bid.
You have to bid something else.
But yeah, no, I mean I've already bid 2 trait. Like I bid that trait, plus I bid the fate. That's all the traits I can bid. So there's no more
Right.
traits. So I couldn't activate. Yeah, no, I couldn't activate another ability. Is what I'm saying.
You can only do 2 abilities and 2 ninja gear.
Right. I did 2
Have you done
abilities, and I did 2 traits, but I didn't do 2. No, I did 2 traits and I did 2 ninja gear, but I only did 1 ability. I thought you had to activate the trait. To activate the ability, you have to use a trait.
Yeah.
And I don't have any more traits to activate because I used adaptable to understand. Is that correct? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have any more traits, then it's exhausted.
You can't activate 2 abilities if you use it for something else.
Right.
You can.
Well, no. I think I understand we understand the confusion, Nord. Are you thinking that you can only activate 2 traits per turn?
Yeah.
You can only activate. Lord.
You can activate as many traits as you want. You just can only activate 2 abilities.
Yeah. You don't activate traits ever, actually.
So I could use another trait to activate a second ability.
Of course.
Yes.
Well, I didn't know.
You bid 1 trait to do the action, which should be your fate, because that's what you're doing.
Well,
right?
I'll bid.
And then you get 2 abilities and 2 ninja gear.
I'll bid.
That requires traits.
I'll bid touch by the veil to activate my counterpoint. And that's 9.
What did you do? What did you do to get 7?
To get 7? Well, I got 2 by bidding the burning focus.
Yeah. Okay.
I rolled 2 on the throwdown.
Okay.
I got 1 for using the scroll of runes.
For the
and
ability.
I got 2 for using the counterpoint. So that's
2 abilities.
yeah. That's all.
Okay. So, yeah, and you haven't done any ninja gear.
7. And then I got 2 from Ninja Gear. So that's 9.
Right. So 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Leah, drop that D4 and tell me what you get.
Boon.
All right. Clean success. So the threshold is 8. You get 9. As Nord, you put forth your energy, bidding justice. The fate. As justice will be served, you see the runes crack from where you marred them. There's a howling from somewhere deep within the realms, not in the gloaming, somewhere else in the void, as the wall literally pushes these clawed hands, almost like the wall is made of fabric, in this horrible maw. As Loretta turns, gasping, looking at you, you see her runes ripping up around her, and she starts faltering and falling down. Energy bleeding off of her, shooting into this thing's mouth. As you see from your staff, souls being sucked into the mouth. As she says, with wide eyes and terror, "You fool!" As you see the wall rip open. Everybody make sanity rolls.
All right. It's probably fine.
You say, "Oh, I'll be fine." Now remember, Nord, you get upper hand.
Yeah. I rolled upper hand.
And
I got the same amount.
And you have a +2 because you did fate.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, for your turn, you've got that. In fact, I think it might be the round. Find out right quick.
I get it. We are so cosmically doomed, man. The fates. The
3
fates are all.
successes.
Okay, so it doesn't explicitly say, but this is for the round.
Okay. Wow. That's
So
good.
this round you have your fate active.
Yeah. That's 4.
So you guys are seeing a greater abstract. You can assume it's going to cause some sanity loss.
I believe it.
So wait,
Or
unless
perhaps
we
insanity
succeed, or
gained.
even if we,
I'm sorry?
is that even if, unless we succeed, or even if we succeed?
Oh, you're going to lose something no matter what. But if you fail, you go insane, you know? One of those
No.
things. Magical
come on.
resistance would apply to this.
Oh, with
So if you guys have,
that's
if you have
6.
mRNA, you can
Yeah.
add to it. All right, what'd you get, Hulker? What did everybody get? Just fucking tell me. Oh my god.
I got
6.
3 successes with flair.
Okay, do you have any magical resistance? 4, 6.
Yep.
And what'd you get, Leah?
Also 3 successes.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Okay, add it to your total.
So that will be 4 successes.
Okay. And Leah got 3? Okay. Threshold on this is 4.
Okay.
So if you got 4, you're limbo. If you didn't,
Can I
you fail.
activate? Would turmoil in philosophy be applicable, do you think?
I mean, people argue about whether there's a God all the time. I think that's fine.
So we're gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna activate turmoil in philosophy for an extra 2 successes.
Okay, so you're clean. Nord's clean. Tony's at limbo.
I will also activate Turmoil and Philosophy.
As all the crazy people are like, this is perfectly fine. Simon, you're looking at this. You're
Yeah.
limbo. Simon, there comes a time in every person's life where you look into the abyss and nothing looks back. It's in that moment you find your character. And your character, that is what keeps you from the abyss. Problem is, something's looking back. Something out there, just beyond the wall, just beyond that place that you can't see, that's watching you. Something maybe evil, something insane, something that doesn't make sense, that wants to eat the world. And there's a lot of them. And this feeling will dig down deep in Simon, that maybe there's not an order to the multiverse, but there are definitely things that need to be put down. As I'll say, with this limbo, you catch Ibo's glance as he is looking directly at this thing, not unfazed. His butthole is clenched. But he's seen this before. As you see him pulling out that arrow as it gets halfway out, you steel yourself, Simon. All right, you get to choose. Do you get a flaw or do you take a derangement?
I get a flaw called undeniable.
I love it. As you kind of shake your head, you notice that Ibo has shoved Mariah against the wall so she can't see. Loretta is falling. Nord, you've broken her spell. The runes are still in place, but they're cracking all around and flaking off. As they flake off, she is getting weaker, but they're still technically there. You doing anything else? You've basically, someone was trying to count to 100 and you're like 55, 32, -5. And she's like, "Brr," and just, whoa. What else are you doing?
I don't know what else. I
give you 5 seconds.
You don't want to mess with gods. Why are you doing this, Loretta? It's wrong, I think.
You know that Loretta, as she gets down, she's on her knees, like soul energy, ethos pouring from her. She is bewildered. And I mean this by the condition. She's bewildered. She is actually bewildered. And terrified and in an absolute state. There's not a lot coming out of her mouth that is making a lot of sense. She's attempting to put the scraps of the runes together. She's like cutting herself, pouring blood into them, trying to make the spell stay together. That's her main thing right now. But she will get this out to answer, maybe to give you a little tiny bit of knowledge. It has to be fed. It has to be fed, or else it'll come through. As you see this thing like coming out of the void into the gloaming. Okay, Loretta takes her turn. Well, what she was going to do, she's not going to do now. Instead, she's doing what I just described. As she casts, will someone roll me a chaos die and see if it blows up in her face?
I'll do it. It does not. It goes a 6.
You guys want to drop proficiencies and make that a 1? I mean, it'll be bad for everybody involved, but it will mess her spell up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Nope. All right. As You see anyone that's looking, she's casting runes again. Still very powerful as she kind of lifts up a little bit, looking at you, Nord. You'll see a look in her face, in her eye, that you know very well. She is going to GTFO. As she sees this, sees you, she didn't even have time for hatred. As she starts casting this runic spell of some sort, but you know she's going to try to leave. Maybe even carving or painting with her blood, turning pale, a red door beneath her. And she's trying to do that. Okay, player turn.
You hear Simon yell, "Tony, feed her to that thing." And I will take a shot at her to try and disrupt this current spell she's trying to cast. I'm going to bid cop. Well, it's for aiming and that.
You get it. Boom. I'm kidding, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony, what are you doing? You guys all tell me what you're doing. Oh my god.
I am. What did Simon mean when he said feed her to that thing?
Ask him.
Simon, what do you mean?
Pick her up and throw her to that thing. She said it needs to be fed.
Okay.
That might make her more powerful, but yeah, I mean, why not? I don't know. Rebecca, remember that key that you had? You want to draw a door to like a place, or can I do that? Because I think we should leave.
You want to bid, Rebecca?
Yeah. But it has to, or Leah, one of you two. Who's got the keys again?
I got one of the keys. Rebecca has the other key.
Rebecca.
No, I have a key and Rebecca has a key.
I think that's her way out.
We had 3 keys, so I gave you a key. Rebecca has a key, and I have a key.
Everybody has a key but me, so I'll do my best to like something, which I don't really have a lot, but I'll pull out. I'll stop focusing on whatever it is that I was focusing on, and I'll pull out the stupid 38 special out of my vest, and I'll shoot the thing.
Shoot what?
I thought there was a creature that came through the.
You mean the big face?
Yeah, the face.
Yeah, you can shoot that. Yeah, what do you bid? And go ahead and throw down.
I got 5 successes to shoot Loretta.
All right. Loretta depowered without runes. You do hit her.
Okay.
You got 1 over, so the threshold is 4 since she's on her knees and she's unaware of you. So it's a +1 to the damage. All right, the rest of you tell me, make your rolls, tell me what's up.
That's
I take my crossbow out and I shoot at her as well.
All right, what do you bid? And throw down. Right now the threshold is 3 because Simon attacked first.
I bid Mage Killer.
How much damage, Simon?
It's 8 damage, and that was a rune bullet.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah. And Tony, are you running at her as they're shooting at her?
I will attempt to throw the corpse that Simon suggested at the thing.
No, I was saying, as you go to pick up the corpse, I meant Loretta.
What do you do?
I throw the corpse towards Loretta.
Okay, as you hook this corpse at her, it's turning to dust as she just gets tarred and feathered with corpse. Shot in the back as an arrow. A crossbow bolt. Nord, what'd you get shooting the big head?
I just got I didn't get a lot. I didn't even roll. Shoot. How do you shoot again? I don't know how to shoot.
So I got 5
You
successes.
throw down, dude.
No, I threw down. I threw down. I bid a couple of things. I threw down.
You mean, how do you shoot?
How do you shoot? I haven't shot anything
So
in
I
a
got
while.
5 successes.
5 with the
And I
crossbow.
did 6 damage.
Oh, 6. Oh, I see.
I got 4 successes. No, 5 successes to shoot the thing.
Loretta gets shot in the back as she leans forward. She does the thing like in Platoon. And as she tries to get up, she's casting still. The blood starts to lift off the ground as she gets a crossbow bolt in her face, spinning around. She goes face down into the blood door, which turns into just goop and nothingness. Meanwhile, bang! Nord, you shoot the demigod in the face. It does nothing to it.
Yeah, I didn't think it would.
As it's like, oh. Okay.
I think we should leave.
This is player turn, right? So, world action. Unless you guys are bidding any of your NPCs.
I think we should bid Rebecca.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we should bid Rebecca to draw a door, or somebody to draw a door, or unless that you guys disagree with that.
She made a deal with this thing, and she failed on her deal. Give her to him, and hopefully it'll leave us.
Okay. I'm gonna just move to the back of the room behind I'm gonna get closer to Leah and Rebecca. I don't know what to do with this, but hurting it is not the answer.
As it's like coming through, you see a couple of its legs, because it has many. Kind of looks like a big lobster with like this horrible face and teeth and like hands, as it is now moving in the room. So which NPC is going to go? Or are we going top of the round?
I am inclined to agree with Nord and say that Rebecca has started drawing a door to get out.
Okay.
You guys got to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Rebecca,
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, draw a door to your apartment.
All right. As Rebecca goes for the key with her non-hand, shit, she grabs with the good one. Anywhere? I've
Your
never done
apartment.
this.
I don't know. Just imagine your apartment. Just your front door. Just draw that.
Where do I draw it?
Just against the wall.
Anywhere.
As she runs over and starts drawing the deal on the wall. As you see the door starting to magic up. Anything with Mariah or Ibo? Although Ibo may not.
We
actually
all
do
start leaving. GTFO.
Yeah.
Okay. World action. This thing is coming into the glowing. Its whole body probably won't fit in this room because it's really big. As you see undulating behind it, almost like a serpentine, like it's got the head, multiple arms, these like lobster legs coming in, and behind it, this gargantuan body of a dragon sort of Chinese thing moving out in the void of insanity. Ripping through like saran wrap, these things, as the door starts to actually become a door. Anyone dropping cunning?
I'll drop cunning.
What cunning?
Yeah, I guess I'll. Can I drop cunning for Rebecca?
Yeah. If you want, go on.
I'll drop cunning for Mariah.
Okay. So they can all act.
And I'll drop cunning for Ibo.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm out.
You're out?
No, I'm gonna try and get out.
Okay. As you all can act, you're moving back against the walls. This thing is coming in. As you see its body, like the legs have mouths on them, and they're just munching on things as one of the legs is coming down and stomps on Rebecca's body, unless you want to grab her body. Anybody? 5, 4,
Loretta's
3,
body.
2. Loretta. Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 4,
No,
3, 2, 1. Loretta.
It's on.
As you see her like suck up this thing, as it looks at you hungrily, saying something in the deep speech of hell. Your brains hurt. Cunning. As this thing is going to consume you all, or it's going to attempt to.
Right. I think we exit. Stage left, guys. I think that's the plan.
You hear Ibo. You all let this thing in here though. As he, with cunning, as he's pulled out the arrow. Where are we going?
That's a real bummer.
I guess Rebecca's house. I don't know, wherever she wanted to go.
Do you want
to let that go first, or would that just piss it off?
He's scared as you are. What do you all do?
Okay. I'm gonna.
I go over and help Rebecca in the drawing of the door.
Okay, it is drawn.
I'm gonna bid it worked in the past and open up the door and jump through.
Oh, you do. As you see beyond it, the darkness of the gloaming. You are in the gloaming.
Yeah.
But you know that's where it goes. And there's just the slight bend, almost like there's a mirror in there that you all are all too familiar with, where you slip through the between and go to, hopefully, where Rebecca said.
And yeah, so Leah grabs Mariah's hand and pulls her through the door.
Okay. Everybody go in?
Yes.
Yes, I will be convinced because, I just did it before.
Yep.
I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I get sliced up into a little itty bitty pieces.
Ibo is last as he's running behind. Go, 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 go. As you go through the fuzzy feeling, you feel like you're squeezed too hard and inflated too much. And you appear out the refrigerator in Rebecca's kitchen. As you pile out.
I'm going to shut the door behind us once everybody's through.
As you're shutting the door, just in time, you see this thing, a tendril, slide out, blocking it. As Ibo shoots the arrow, and Nord, you slam shut the refrigerator. It's smoking. You hear, "There is only Zul," echoing somewhere in the distance. Actions on you all. You are out.
Is the TV on with the runes? I look at the TV to see if the the runes are on the TV, or if Rebecca's apartment is normal.
Let's
I mean,
look
it's Rebecca's kitchen. You're in the dark. The lights are out.
I go to the windows and
They're all
open the window.
frosted over.
I open the window and see if it's still cold out or if it started.
Cold as hell. As you look out, though, you see that the sun is rising. You see there's some fires. There's traffic, or like the cars. Some of them are just wrecked and such. There's bodies all over the place. Some fires off in the distance. The storm is past. You see it sort of thundering and wisps of it going away. Off in Grosse Pointe, the house just burning, several houses burning, and an odd disquiet.
It looks like we may have stopped it here, but I don't know what we did in that place we just left.
You know, I think if Loretta was on the up and up, she would have talked to us about it just a little bit. Sort of, maybe not, but I don't know. It seems wrong. She seemed wrong to me.
On the up and up?
Well, down and down.
The only thing that's on the up and up in the last week has been stuff that's been up in the air, held up there by magic that is trying to kill us. That's been up.
Tony, all your parts aren't together right.
Yeah, that's probably true. Everybody feeling okay? You know, everybody have all their digits and.
No, not all of them.
Anybody need some? I look at Tony, medical attention.
No, I'll be fine.
Leah actually takes the revive for herself.
Okay.
And that does wounds, right?
Wounds and sanity.
Okay.
It looks like she was borrowing from a higher up to help promote herself, and when we destroyed it, the higher up came to collect.
The refrigerator door, around it, you see a light around the seal, a yellow light start emanating. As the refrigerator kind of shakes.
Well, is that something we should worry about?
Rebecca sits up. She winces at her stump. Let's never done that before. As you hear it shake, and then a knock.
Leah will actually go up to the door of the refrigerator. Who is it? What do you want?
No. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna bid really quick. I'm gonna bid my scroll of runes to start doing circle of protection with just drawing on there, etching out. I'm gonna grab a knife out of the silverware drawer and start etching out some circles on the door.
On the refrigerator?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a chaos die.
That's a 5.
Yeah. As you're like getting rather good at it.
Who knocks at the gate?
It's a voice that sounds somewhat familiar, but it's muffled.
Should we open it?
I don't think so. That it could be anything. It could be like.
That doesn't sound like a monster. Leah opens the door.
No, I stop her from opening the door.
This is up to you guys.
Lord, it doesn't sound like a monster.
Did you see what that thing was? What would be in Leah's refrigerator?
Sound like that thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, they can sound like whatever. Whatever it is that things sound like. I'm sure it's still knocking.
I feel like you're extrapolating.
Anybody want to knock for Bill? Tony? Simon? What do you guys think?
I think we need to leave it shut. Everyone is in here. Ivo's in here. He was the last one through. Nothing good can be coming through that. Nobody else knows that it's a doorway except for nobody would be using a doorway to Rebecca's apartment except for Rebecca or one of us.
Definitely not a doorway through the refrigerator. How ridiculous is that?
It's not like Detective John could be using it. He didn't have any keys, so he wouldn't be popping up through there.
It's true.
The only one who could be coming in would be that thing or Loretta.
I agree. So I vote we don't open it. But that's just...
And it's in the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's just me. Just me thoughts.
What if we pull the plug on the refrigerator and I mean, at least if we're not going to let it out, the least we could do is pull the plug on it and let it defrost, okay?
Yeah, but this thing is heavy. I'm going to spend a narrative point saying that the refrigerator is from like the 1950s and it would survive like a nuclear holocaust.
Sure.
And I think the plug is in the back. Yeah, where like if you go in on the inside, it doesn't have the unlock button where you got to be on the outside to open it.
Sure.
I will also go back to my wound and use, like, I don't know which, I'm seeing whatever runes Nord is doing, and I am copying them on there as well.
You're trying to, okay, sure. You do. As you all spend some time, the knocking goes away.
And we're all here, right? There's nobody.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought there was an animal in here. Some time passes. It'll take you a good 10, 15, 20 minutes to like cover this things in runes and like do it properly. Meanwhile, Rebecca has made herself a drink. She's made some of you guys drinks. It takes her longer since she has one arm or one hand now. The lights start to flicker on the kitchen as you hear the TV come on.
Does it have the things on it?
Well, you guys are in the kitchen.
Anybody want to check the TV?
What?
Leah goes out to the living room.
You go into the living room. It's dark. The lamp flickers. Lights flicker. As then they stay on. Incandescent bulbs. You see the heater comes back, thrums to life. The TV is on mute. And it's one of those old school waiting signs. It has like or testing strips for the colors. As you see it garble, and the news comes on. And it's a news broadcast talking about like the weather.
Leah will hit the unmute button and hit her.
Mid-sentence, you hear this news reporter talking about the hellacious winter freeze, a cyclone from the Arctic coming down in a historic fashion, how it decimated many parts of Canada, but thankfully no one cared, and came down and froze up much of Detroit. How there's been some fires and there's a death toll because people were essentially caught outside. But rescue workers are out, and the power is coming back in a lot of places.
So what happened to Detective John?
I don't know. Last I saw, he was at the top of the hill, going to the top of the hill.
Once we get this short up here, I'm going to go see if I can find him, or at least his body.
How do you have any energy left, Simon? I am wrecked.
I am too, but I don't want to leave a man down.
You're wrecked? No. No, I'm wrecked.
It's true.
I don't think that's where your nipple should be, Tony.
Ibo is looking at the television, like marveling at it. What is this wizardry?
It's not. It's like I was saying before. It's technology.
I've never seen any theurgy like this.
It's not theurgy. It's physics.
Do you have people this small?
No,
everywhere?
They're normal-sized people. Basically, the way it works, it's like a prism. So it's like a mirror kind of thing that they're looking into. He looks at you,
Simon. I'll go with you.
Leo actually turned to him and say, okay. For in your terms, what this does is it hold on one second.
And it splits off light into 3 different categories: red, green, and blue.
We'll go off and.
Is anyone else going with them?
I'm gonna attend to Rebecca. See if I can help her.
Mariah will go with you, Simon. As you can tell,
I will make a quick pit stop at my apartment and get more ammo for my gun.
So you guys walking? I mean, getting to your apartment is easy, but
well, yeah, from yeah, I know, but from there, Rebecca, do you have a car I can borrow? Someone torched mine, and
I don't have a car. I take the bus.
Let's see here.
Isn't Leah's car here?
Ivo looks over. I don't know what a car is.
My car is so far away. Oh God.
Leah, did you bring back Lee's car here, or is it?
My husband's car's here.
Can I borrow it to go check on John?
Sure.
Okay. So I will.
Mariah will go with you, as will Ibo.
Okay.
The keys are on top of the back tire.
Tony, do you go or do you stay in Rebecca's apartment?
I will stay in Rebecca's apartment because, well, look at me.
As you stay in there, you see Rebecca and Nord kind of looking at you.
Don't mind me.
Take a hit, Tony.
I'm sure there's no demons in your apartment anymore, Tony. You could probably go home.
Yeah.
You do live here. I've been there. I've been at your house.
Yeah, that's a good point. I walk down to my apartment, and I think I should roll a chaos die to see if anyone sees me.
No one sees you.
What are you
No one's
doing?
around. But roll a chaos die because you asked, so it's cool.
Ooh.
Are you staying to watch Nord and Rebecca, Leah?
Leah,
Sorry, what?
what are you doing?
Leah is tending to Rebecca's wounds.
You tend to it, and there's a moment where she kind of like is looking at you, like, I'm going to tend to Nord's wounds.
The tourists.
Do you want to be involved in that?
Yes. Nord's like, yes.
Let's wait till things calm down a bit more. Then I'll take you up on that.
You know what? Roll a not a sanity. She is a werewolf. Roll a mind roll. So mind and action. We'll say threshold is 3, because Leah has already demonstrated that she likes Rebecca, and this has kind of already gone down. To resist, I mean, you can X card me here, but I'm just saying.
It's got those werewolf pheromones.
Minus with one success.
All right,
And
as
then
we
I
fade to black,
guess Mariah is leaving, so it's fine.
as we fade to black on you all, you
I knew
three.
you'd come around, Leah. The Nordic.
Lord.
To the Nordic track,
Leah.
baby.
So Leah just kind of like very, very light, very barely glances over at Nord, and she'll actually grab Rebecca's chin and pull her in for a kiss herself.
As we'll fade to black on all
straight up
that.
ignoring
Is that okay? All right. You guys do what you do. Simon, you, Mariah, and Ibo get Leah's car. And when you get out into the street, you notice something strange, obviously. There's like 3 feet of snow everywhere and ice glazed on everything. People frozen. Almost comically. But something else. There's a weird mist on the ground. And as you sort of make your way through this frozen graveyard, try to start Leah's car. It doesn't start at first. What do you bid to get it started?
Power through.
How does that work? What does the detective do to make this work? You kick the tire. What happens?
Well, like he gets through there, and it's he takes the key and kind of like chips the ice away from the door, and from the door handle, and like gets the key in and pops it open. He gets in there. He starts to turn it. Doesn't do anything. He's like, "Come on!" He's like pushing the gas a little bit, like trying to prime it or whatever, because he's not for sure on this car. And he's just like, "We've been through a lot. Come on, just work for me. Something's got to go right today."
As it starts up, backfires, kadoom, as you start off. And as you're getting to your place, or not your place, as you're getting up to Grosse Pointe, you notice this mist, this fog moving around. In the deep shadow of it, looks eerily familiar. Wafting with this breeze, these gusts of wind that don't seem to be natural. Up ahead, as you're going to Grosse Pointe, there's a singular person on the side of the road, a woman, long hair in a coat, waving. Do you stop or do you keep going?
I will. Can I tell who it is as I get closer?
Yeah.
Or do I have to?
As you get close, maybe slowing down a little bit, you see it's Levi.
Son of a
The jazz singer.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm gonna drive past Levi.
And she's like, hey,
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
You keep going. All right.
Yeah.
You eventually get up to Grosse Pointe. As the fog banks are going, the shadow is deep and dark and weird. And you'll get up to the burning house. As you make your way up the Bald Hill, where the Bald Hill graveyard is. It is blackened, toasted. At the top, you just go straight on, or are you doing anything particular?
I'm going to, as we're headed up that way, because we get out on foot, I guess, to go up there. I'm staying on the outside of the fence of the Butte house. I'm not going like through the property, but I'm gonna be like, as we're walking up there, I'm talking to Mariah. I'll be like, if he's here and he's dead, it may be gruesome, and you probably don't want to look.
At some point, I have to see stuff. You notice Ibo looking at her. He's got the scarf up over his face, but you can see like there's a little bit of a smile in his eyes as she says that.
I know you have to, but you've also seen a lot already. It doesn't always, you don't have to eat everything at once. Sometimes you can just start with the appetizer and wait till the main course comes.
Ibo kind of looks at you and frowns, but Mariah seems to accept it. As you go to the top?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to look like, I'm not just going to go straight up there, because I'm walking up there, but I'm looking around, because if he may not be at the top, he may be on the side of the hill. I will bid a detective to assess the situation and see if I can figure out where he may be as we're going up to the top, if that makes sense.
Bidding detective, as you're moving up the hill, the snow melting in the sunlight, it looks like something exploded up here, but it's a strange explosion. It's like it's difficult to even describe, like a forest fire that moved. As in, like, forest fires do move, but they continue, like, spreading. This is like something was hot and moving and burning things, like laser beams, for example. Ibo mutters loud enough for you to hear, and he's saying it to you. A god died here. This was a god of some sort.
Died here?
He nods. This sort of blight. You see him like pointing with his bow. I've seen this before.
So basically
I would say a lesser power of some sort.
They were doing a ritual. They were sacrificing people, and there was a glowing gemstone, and I shot and destroyed the gemstone, and fire started shooting out and blazed these paths. Was it the destroying of the gemstone that caused this?
likely they had trapped something in that gem. You likely unleashed it.
Okay. So,
But if they were sacrificing, you say, people to it, it sounds like they were using it. I'd say you did the right thing. Though he kind of looks around. I mean, in the scheme of things, this is par for the course. Fighting gods usually ends in worse.
so if I freed it, Detective John may have come up here and fought it.
Well, I don't know who Detective John is.
He was an acquaintance of ours. Let's see if we can find him. Hopefully he's still alive up here. If not, hopefully we'll at least find his body.
As you go up and you're looking around, bidding detective, you know, the ground is still actually hot in places you avoid it. And you see out ahead at the top, one of the big stones, and the stone's all melted over. And you see written on the side in chalk, a door. Two-dimensional door. And as you move closer, Detective John comes around the corner, stroking his beard. He's got wounds and burn marks he's wrapped as he's looking at it and messing with the runes on it. As he looks over.
Detective John.
I knocked. Back in the apartment building.
You knew I was right.
So, you three are doing your thing. Tony, you get into your room. Walking around, you see, your apartment has that musty smell. The kitchen's a wreck. What are you doing?
I start to in effect try to clear the place by looking around and looking to see if any entity is still there. Maybe looking under around corners and under things to see if any sign of activity is there from when I was gone.
You do. You're careful as you clear the kitchen and the main room and go into the bedroom. And as you're moving through the bedroom quietly, you catch something out the side, the peripheral vision. A monster. Hulking, looking at you with a bulging eye. What do you do?
I walk outside and close the door.
As you walk outside and close the door, casually, and close it, you're in the hallway.
And I walk back to where Rebecca and Nord are.
The door's
knock.
Rebecca, Nord, and Rebecca. Wait, Rebecca, Nord, and Leah.
I think I might have put some of Rebecca's clothes on because mine are pretty nasty, maybe, for this experience.
You guys are done at this point. Some time has passed. You're all bitten by werewolves.
Oh no!
There's the door. Knock on the door. Action's on you guys.
It's me.
Leah goes up and opens the door. Actually, Leah's
like wet
still,
dog in here.
So Leah's actually still mostly naked. Like she's pulled on her underwear, but she's kind of like giving no fucks at this point. So she just sort of opens the door, like, "Come on in, then."
You see Tony, and somehow any sexiness that was there is just drained out of the room. As he looks pretty rough. Actions on you guys.
Apparently my apartment got subleased while I was gone.
Shit. Can't we ever be at an end of all this bullshit? And Leah goes over and pulls on some pants and picks up her crossbow.
Yep.
All right. Well, should we go take care of it?
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
You just see like the couch overturned and Nord's legs. All right. As yeah, you whoever goes over there goes over there.
We go over there. I open the door.
You do.
And Leah points her crossbow in the door as soon as he opens the door.
You see his apartment. It's very musky. There's like this smell of brine, like a wharf.
Gross. Leah starts looking around and seeing if she sees anything.
What do you bid?
I'm going to bid. Well, let's see. The real question is, what do I have left to bid? And that is going to be, cloak and dagger. I feel like that's a good one for this.
Leah, as you start clearing the room or the apartment with your crossbow, Tony behind you. Nord, where are you?
I am probably nursing a very terrible after effects of doing drugs for 3 days in a row and not sleeping.
Yeah, you're in a bad way.
I am probably not feeling great.
Yeah, you're feeling bad. Leah, you clear the room. You go into the bedroom. Tony, right behind her. This is where you saw the thing. Leah, you do what?
Did I see it or don't?
No, not yet.
Do I see it?
Leah sort of Leah kicks open the door to the bedroom.
Boom! You kick it open. Tony, you're behind. Leah, you get to the bathroom that's in the bedroom. Looking in. Drizzle. Looking in there. There's nothing in there. Tony, you see it.
There it is.
Leah, you pop back in with your crossbow. Anyone know what's going on?
It's a mirror.
As in fact, Tony is simply seeing himself in the mirror. Get a narrative point, Simon.
And Leah actually sort of slings a crossbow over her shoulder and basically like in between her boobs on her she's still just in her bra and like a pair of pants, and she grabs him by the shoulders and actually puts herself behind him and pushes him in front of the mirror.
Tony,
it's you, Tony.
You are repulsive. Lose 1 derangement, as in mark 1 derangement box. As you realize you're the monster. There's no doubt now. What are you?
I'm not a monster. They're the monsters.
You are a monster. But this is what you're seeing that you saw as a monster was in fact yourself. Only you can resolve what that means to you.
I wanted to go down to the diner and get a waffle. I guess that's not happening.
Yeah, let's probably avoid that for now. Besides, Leah will actually kind of look towards the window.
I mean, you could go and bring it back for me.
Well, I don't even know if anybody's going to be open right now. The city's still in chaos, but we'll see.
There's an odd mist outside. Going back to Simon. John is there. I knocked.
I didn't know you. I didn't think you know to go to Rebecca's. Plus, I didn't think you liked going through using those keys.
I didn't know to go to Rebecca's, as he points at the stone and the runes. This just finds where you are. It's call it a location type thing.
Oh. Well,
Thing is, I was never good at the runes.
well, I'm sorry.
You see, he's got bandages as he's clearly cut himself several times to activate the door, and it hasn't worked. Many of them.
But at least we're here to help you now.
It sounds like seems like you stopped what was happening. The world isn't gone.
Well, we may have stopped what's happening here, but we may have let something else happen over there.
Simon, there's always something happening. I think if you've learned anything, you know that. There's more going on than... Go on.
I know you've offered the gloves to me, but that's something I'm not willing to do. But if we talk a little bit, I may do some freelance.
Fair enough. Where's everyone else?
I'm back at our apartment building. We can, if you want to come with us, you can crash. I'll let you have my bed to let you crash for a while, and I'll take the couch. We probably need to get some rest after everything.
He looks over at Ibo. Haven't seen you in a while. As they share a glance. All right, well, let's go. Did you kill Loretta Levant? And he asks you basically what happened. As you guys get into the car, start heading back.
I want to look at Ibo and go, thought you said you didn't know Detective John.
He looks over at you. I haven't been entirely truthful with you. Also, name's not Ibo. What do you bid to get his name?
I will bid stubborn. That I'm like, I told you you didn't have to tell me your real name, but now you're just holding stuff out.
He looks over at John, who kind of gives him a nod. Mariah. My name's Shandor. As you get into the car, start heading back, John explains some stuff. And the dog barks. All this will start to fade. This is called the gloaming. The shadow I'm talking about. Ibo just kind of sits there and smokes on a pipe in the back with Mariah hanging out there. As you guys head down the same road, a little further up, you see walking in the snow, Levi. Do you stop?
I will, I'll ask Detective John, and I'll be like, so the tomb of Lavos looks a lot like this lady. Do we need to worry about her, or should we give her a ride?
He looks over as you guys are pulling up. She turns and she sees you guys. She's waving, and then seeing who it is, she runs in front of the car and she's like, "You son of a bitch!" And she's like trying to like wave you down and stop you. You see, she's like in like sneakers with no socks, with like a coat on. As John says, "Oh, that's Levi, jazz singer." Yeah, she's supernatural. He kind of turns and looks at you. But she's bound to this realm. What we're looking at isn't a god. She's kind of immortal. It's complicated. You hear Ibo? Sounds like a god to me.
Well, we'll pick her up. Just do me a favor, Ibo. If she starts to sing, shut her up no matter what.
Oh, I'll shut her up. All right. As you pick Levi up, she gives you a mouthful of curses. You
stopped
left me
this
on the
time.
side of the road.
Well, why did you leave where we left you to begin with?
Because you drugged me. You
did not
drugged
drug
me
you.
and threw me in a Winnebago with a bunch
I
of
did not drug you.
cultists. You know how long I've been trying to get away from those cultists?
No, how long?
She kind of looks over. A long time. As you're driving up, Levi explains she wants nothing to do with it. She says, look, I have served my time. Okay? I'm out of all of it. I'm out of the game. I want nothing to do with it.
Well, then why were you at the bar where they were having the ritual?
It's not my fault what you mortals do.
So you were just there and they came to do the ritual on the same night you're there? Which could make sense if they follow you.
You see, you just sort of look around. Okay, listen. I don't like admitting that I had, okay? Do you know of Lady Callie?
Yes, we stopped her.
You stopped her, as you guys will now start telling Levi what you've done?
Well, I'm just going to say we've stopped her.
You've stopped her. She looks over at Shandor, looks over at Detective John. Okay.
It's not permanent, but...
Well, Lady Callie was... she was a high priest. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. She broke the deal.
A lot of people don't keep their words these days.
No kidding. All right. Tony, you're left alone in your room as Leah goes back to Rebecca's. Leah, Rebecca, Nord, you're sleeping because you kind of have to. When you wake up in the morning, you can hear sounds outside. Working crews, construction crews, people milling about. Tony, in your apartment, alone, for the first time in a while. Maybe you're sitting on your bed. You note that you're not tired at all. Sleep is kind of not a thing, as maybe you're staring at yourself in the mirror. And Onus comes out of the shadow, standing there in a translucence. She's smiling at you, very proud of you, clear.
Well, I did it.
I know. You've done well.
Yeah, it cost me, but
There's always a cost. She kind of comes over and puts her hand on your face. Would you like to come with me? And she looks at the mirror, drawing your gaze to it. As she waves her hand, you see that you become whole again in the reflection. I can make you as you once were. I reward those who do well by me.
That's normally that would be a tempting offer. But I think you should go and fry yourself. I like being dead.
As you see her kind of like shake her head. All you need do is ask, Tony. As she moves back into the shadow, and you're left alone as your image turns back into what you are. Simon, you, Levi, Ibo, Shandor, and Mariah. You get back to your apartment. Going up, not just, I'm just kind of rolling with some of this montage here. Not disturbing Rebecca or Leah and the fuck fest that is no doubt happening.
Yeah.
Just dead tired. You get to your place. Detective John hits the couch. Levi takes a shower. Mariah sits there watching TV. You're making a sandwich.
Well, I was I'll clean up the bed a little bit. I'll be like, Mariah, you can take the bed. John, I told him he could have the bed too, but looks like he's crashed on the couch. I'll sleep in the chair here. We need to get some rest. We've been through a lot.
As you get rest, in the morning, you all will meet up. Where do you want to do this? In Rebecca's? At the cafe? Where?
I mean, I'd say probably whichever apartment's bigger.
They're all three of ours will be basically about the same size. I would say, since I have most, I'll wake up early and come knock on the other two doors, and just be like, who all's in here? I found Detective John. You guys want to come?
Stop that
now that we've got
hammering!
some rest.
So loud, so loud. Everything.
You know,
figures are loud.
Nord, that Levi is behind him.
Oh shit! It's you.
It's you. She looks at Nord, rushes in, and punches him in the face.
Oh.
And
then I think Nord will probably just fall on the floor.
As Rebecca grabs Levi, and she's like, "You bastard! He drugged me. He tried to accost me." As Rebecca stops and looks, she's like holding Levi back and looks at you, Nord. Did you do that?
It wasn't me. It was. Well,
it was you.
You wouldn't remember that,
Leah,
and it was
Leah
all of
will
us.
kind of like push her way between them and say, "Okay, but to be fair, I don't know, an aspect of you almost killed us, so I think we're even."
I show up and I look at Levi and I say, it could be worse.
Ah!
Every time you start to sing, you hypnotize rooms into killing, like, sacrifices. I felt like that was needing to be stopped.
Okay, everyone, calm down. Things happened. We were trying to stop bad things from happening, and we didn't always make the wisest decisions. But if we look outside, we did stop it. At least here.
Detective John sits
They will
down.
actually kind of look over. It's like, how did that work anyway? I mean, are you like split personality or something, or like is one half of you the bad half and then you're like the good half? Although you don't seem, I don't know.
Detective John is packing a cigarette as he lights it. Yeah, Levi, I think it's about time you told us what was going on. As Levi sits with a cup of coffee, and she says, so normally I wouldn't tell, no offense, mortals. You hear Shandor say, speak for yourself.
Mortal.
The
What are you talking about?
I'm pretty mortal, Tony. I think. I'm pretty sure I'm mortal. I feel mortal. I feel everything right now, Tony.
Listen, a long time ago, I was someone else. And I bit off more than I could chew. And I was punished for it, okay? As she looks over at you, Leah, she kind of smells and looks at you in like almost through you, by the second queen of the earth. I am from another place. You hear Shandor say, yeah, the gloaming. She kind of looks over. It doesn't matter. And some of these things should be kept from mortal ears.
Like
especially
the Middle East.
Especially mortals who trifle with the realms. But I will tell you this. I was punished. And yes, she looks back at Leah. My deific nature was ripped from me. Which is a fate difficult to describe how hellacious it is. But over time, while I attempted to regain that power, there was a moment I no longer quite wanted it. So she shrugs. As corny as it sounds, I found a purpose here that isn't about finding that sort of greatness and domination. But that doesn't mean there aren't those that would attempt to profit and would lie and twist things, Lady Callie being one of them. As for this Loretta Levon, she kind of looks over at you, Simon, and Detective John. I've heard the name. One of the many followers of things they don't understand. And when you know someone's true name, you see Ibo kind of look at her. And they found out my name, then they could siphon off certain rituals and power. As for Lady K, she has her own tragic story. I figure she nabs one of John's cigarettes, like the same one. She's smoking it too. Hands it back to him. What her plans were, I don't quite know. I know that she was using some of the essence off of me to fuel what she's trying to accomplish. I just want to sing, baby.
You keep smoking those things, you're gonna get lung cancer. That's just.
I'm immortal, okay?
Did you not just hear what she said?
I didn't hear a lot of things.
You hear John smoking too. He's smoking. As he says, that's a nice story, Levi. But I happen to know that if you have 3 sacrifices of a certain sort in a certain time, if the right rituals are stated, you can regain what you say you don't want. So, on the players, what do you all do at this moment?
Well, there were 2 sacrifices, but I think one of them was wrong. And one of them saved themselves, but maybe there were 3. It's been a long time.
Levi says, I don't want anyone to die. I'm not trying to do that. John says,
I'm inclined
what
to
about
believe
what
her.
about the 12 years murders?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I'm
exactly.
inclined
What
to believe her. It seems to me that Lady K and Loretta were in it for themselves.
That's true. They just used Levi as a tool, is what I'm getting.
As a conduit, maybe even.
A conduit. That's it. Yeah, conduit tool. To get their, clearly they both failed.
Here's my question, Levi. Why you and why not someone else?
What do you mean?
I mean, why would they choose to use you and not, say, whoever it was they had trapped on top of the hill?
Well, I don't know who they had trapped on top of a hill, but how many fallen deities do you know? How do you know their whereabouts, and do you know their true names?
I think they're, well, I mean, there's the one that we left in the gloaming, but we didn't know their name. But they ate Levi. They had a lot of legs, and maybe that wasn't a deity. That was just a really, I don't know. I bet
Shandor will
Ivo
chime in.
over there.
That was an
Ivo
ambio
will know. Yeah. What? A what? Oh, an ambio snitch.
It's called an ambio leash. It's a greater aspect. You see, Levi you survived a greater aspect.
Well, a couple.
You definitely don't need to know all the deep lore.
But yeah, I mean, I think if you could kind of tell us the why, Levi.
Why what?
Why every 12 years? Why these kids? I mean,
I don't know.
Were those even done for you?
And
Or were those done for something else?
Did we stop it? Were they successful?
Levi says, every 12 years on the solstice or the equinox, when the kingdom of Earth, as you all might call it, she's way off, as there's this moment of you guys being like, what? Anyway, when the kingdom of Earth, Shandor chimes in, the natural, is closest to the under and the between. When the stars align.
That's why the gate seems to be really easy to cross. Is that, or the veil, that's why we could
She nods. Every 12 years, 12 because I didn't make up these numbers. That's how many of the Sumerian gods at the time that... Listen, I pissed off Erishkigal pretty bad. And her dad doesn't like me. So, in order to reclaim what they stripped from me, among other things, I had to do what was done to me to 3 innocent people. That's the curse. I had to do what was done to me to 3 other people. Their souls burning and ripped from them for eternity. And not to toot my own horn, but I didn't want to do that. Okay, at first I did. You see John looking at her. Okay, at first I did. And I was thwarted a few times, okay? Ivo kind of nods.
Then who did them this time round?
You mean the last few hundred years time round? That would be Lady K.
And
like
she
I
was
said,
one of your priestesses?
Early on, yes. I taught her many things. I learned a very harsh lesson from it.
And so was Onus, right?
You see, she kind of like looks at you. I see you're in fairly deep.
Are they gonna do this again and again? Is the cycle complete, or is this just sort of like a give and a take? And like 12 years ago, there was a group like us that just kind of showed up and stopped it all from happening. I mean, I was really paranoid that there was like this monster in like the lake or something.
Honey, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. Listen, Onus was the first high priestess. Lady K took her place. Onus fell in love with Ereshkigal and betrayed me. Now, Onus's fate, that was hers. I did not cause that. None of you should be mixed up in this. I thought you were just coming to the jazz club to hear me sing.
Well,
I mean, it's a little. I don't think any of us. Leah will actually sort of look around the room. I don't think any of us, chose to get caught up in this, but we did.
That's not entirely true. I've been studying this for a very long time, and sort of, I didn't think any of it was true. I thought it was just fiction, and
mortals are always looking for immortality and power. If I had to guess, Lady K wanted to gain immortality in a corporeal body to lift her curse.
Oh, absolutely.
As for this Loretta woman, it sounds, from what I've heard,
well, she said
like she was attempting to become a god.
Yeah, she had to feed the demon, or the demon was going to come, or like that was her excuse. If she didn't feed the demon was going to come across.
Rookie mistake. Yeah. Don't deal with demons.
Or the whatever.
Anyway, being immortal. Can I get another one of these?
Who wants to? Nobody wants. Being immortal would suck, right? Because all your friends die, and then like civilization builds and falls and builds.
It's not as big of a deal as people make it out to be.
Well, there's a baton stuck in my chest, but to be honest, other than that, being immortal ain't that bad.
But
as the room fills up with smoke, as two people are smoking here like chimneys, the camera starts to pan out of you guys talking to Levi and finding these things out. Last moments on you all. What do you say?
Well, I'm definitely going to ask Levi. So is the library real?
The library?
Well, there's this library. I mean, there was a book, I was reading about it, and there's this like crazy library, and I felt like if we could go and find the library, it would give us, a way to stop all this crazy shit from happening. Because knowledge is power, right? It's like a library, but it's not in this.
Leah will actually, as he says that, Leah will kind of pull out reach into her pocket and say, "Well, we do have one more key."
You see Levi look over, just kind of put her head in her hand. You all are making a mistake, but that's never stopped. As you see Ibo, or hear him finish her phrase, it's never stopped adventurers before. As Detective John looks up, if you all want to fight this fight, if you want to keep on going, we'll have to talk about some rules. He looks over at Simon.
What kind of rules?
There's a lot of information that we need. Like I said, I'd be willing to help, but on my own terms.
Rules to protect things like this from happening.
I agree.
He kind of looks over at Tony like this.
Well, I mean, Tony's a good guy.
Except for he likes to read too much.
He does read a lot. Well, he doesn't read as much as he used to now that
As
he's
you guys-
gone through
I no longer
changes.
sleep. I got more time to read than ever.
As you guys keep on talking,
Sorry.
go on, Leah.
Leah will actually kind of point over at Tony. So speaking of Tony, Onus was actually the one who resurrected him.
Yes.
The camera pans out, circling out of the room, hovering up over the city. The city is coming back together. The vapor trails of the realms all but subsided. Just like with the gloaming and your guys' movement through it. Memories of it are fleeting as while Detroit was pulled very, very close, if not into the gloaming for a while, those that have survived, those memories are changed and morphed and rationalized, and it's not too long before the great calamity just had to do with looting and people going stir crazy and this freak storm, which you have stopped a very bad person from becoming a god. That is the end of the Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
Red.
You win! And you didn't have to drop your dread point.
Wait. So if we continue this story, does that mean the dread point transfers over?
Hell no.
I thought we were going to continue. I thought we were going to continue these characters and play them in.
Oh no, we can do another campaign with these characters. But as for this story, the specific the Red Writ story.
So
The Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
Writs.
Yeah. This campaign is over.
I definitely
It's
have a
over,
list.
so we don't have to repeat it anymore.
That's right.
Well, don't we always have to repeat the Red Writ?
You always have to. Yeah, the Red Writ. You always have to. Spin-off characters spin-off games we can do. You guys have some stuff in the gloaming we could roll back into, but for right now this one's done.
And then there were the vampires or the vampire-like people in the sewers, and certainly
Tony,
a lot of
not Tony. Everyone is a supernatural except for Simon.
Yeah, that's
Nord
is
infected with
escape.
lycanthropy.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm now.
Leo.
Now I am a.
Leah is a saint of Erishkigal, as well as a lycanthrope.
Wow.
Although she could probably resist that being a saint. And Tony's a homunculi. Or
Well, at least
homunculus, I should say.
I'm not a vampire.
No, you're not a vampire. Right. So let's finish this up and we can discuss next week. Is very close to Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm
I can't do
assuming-
next week.
So can anyone do next week?
I think I can do next week.
I'd be inclined to say no, just because I'm sure I'll be scrambling around trying to do things.
Hulker.
Scrambles.
Yeah, I could probably do next week.
So we'll do a one shot. We'll try to get Jazzi and Max in here, maybe someone else. And yeah, we've got some interesting stuff coming up. We will start a new campaign probably next year, as in January. And we were actually contacted by someone who has created their own tabletop role-playing game, and they want us to try it out. So we might run like a one-shot or something in that. And if one of you wants to, or if all of you want to run something, then we can do that too before the next campaign starts.
Okay.
So anyone who's listening, we'll be here next Monday, right, Ken?
Yeah, I got nothing better to do.
So Holger,
if nobody shows up, I'm sure we could do a GGP.
Holger, Ken, and I will be here, and maybe with someone else guest star, and we'll do a one shot.
But I think I still think we should do a debrief on the Red Writ and
the Red Writ
and
yeah,
into space.
we can do a big old big old deep dive into space, the lore that was missed, what was really going on, blah blah blah, and then also the Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
One thing about Into Space is there are other campaigns, so I can't go into ultimate lore because, then you'd be finding out stuff you should know.
Yeah, you don't. That's why you don't read the bonus material.
That's right. All right, everybody. Final, I guess, epilogue introductions for your characters. And so, who's your character? What are they doing now? Go.
I'm Leah Mizrahi. Leah, after having gone through this whole experience of, dealing with the supernatural and finding out that she died, and I don't think she probably wouldn't know that she's, a quote unquote saint, but she'd be kind of, wondering now that the immediate crisis is over, what does this mean for her future? What kind of future does she even have going forward? And she's probably inclined to go adventuring to find out who she's supposed to be now.
Nord?
I would probably, like I said, that library was kind of what kept me in the game. So, and it not just kept me in. He wants to be a librarian at this real fancy library in the DreadLore book. So, finding that location would be first and foremost the next big adventure he was on, because now that he's found out that this stuff is real, he believes that is kind of an answer to, and is made for the service of adventurers to take on the big bads and get us to the next level of craziness.
Big bad.
And I think he's definitely probably engaging or going to try and engage with Rebecca somehow.
Tony is on the front page of multiple editions of the National Enquirer.
Oh yeah, the Forstian Journal broke that story. That's my.
Yeah. Yeah, and I give you exclusive interviews. No
Yeah,
one believes
thanks.
you, but they're real, absolutely real.
100%.
And Simon?
Simon has gone back to his PI stuff, but in doing so, he keeps up with Detective John and starts to help out on that stuff while still occasionally showing stuff to his assistant, Mariah.
Indeed. Mariah does not follow Shandor, but she talks about it often, and you can tell both Leah and Simon that she will want to go the next time, and she might not come back to the natural afterwards. John is a constant in your lives, not like every day, but he will appear every so often. You all are in the know now, and so every so often he'll roll in Men in Black style and tell you about maybe what you shouldn't talk about, or maybe be aware of, maybe ask you for your help here and there. And can offer you jobs, pretty much. Rebecca is, running her own business.
Does her arm grow back?
C'est la vie. I mean, she's definitely spreading the lycanthrope.
So
I feel like we should figure a way to kind of.
That's one of the things is she's pretty much told, if you keep doing that, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
So it's not too long before Rebecca is going to
refocus. Yeah, refocus.
And that, it's everybody. Shandor leaves. Here and there, he might reappear, but it's not very often. Only in a great time.
Right. I did write this little article. I don't know if that's now is the time to read it or if.
Sure.
Basically, it says, let me get to a place where I can. Detroit has bones of steel, yet was abandoned by industry. Locals panic, then forgotten gods echo louder as engines rev on vacant streets. St. Columbia, Highland Park, Belle Isle Bridge sink in decay. The elite empty, Grosse Point, and urban decay. The lady has lost her way, and creatures from across the veil are returning. Forgotten workers rust and drown in the dark blue notes. Eyes flicker nervous over coffee at the diner. Hopeless, frozen strangers hide as the shadow. Detroit's daughters are kidnapped and sacrificed for Blight's deadly ritual. None are safe. The Buttes, the Worthingtons, the DuPonts, unwillingly tangled in cult with book and shrine at city center. Stalwart few stand before ruin, hope, and fantasy, a deafening call from dark, deep, cold, beyond, eternal demands, and man's machine falls silent. Shifting gears, fraudulent drive, Detroit's exodus as nightmares with untempted horsepower fuels acceptance. In Detroit, we hope for better things. It will rise from the ashes.
I love it. All right, y'all. That's it for this campaign. We'll see you next Monday with a new one in the Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
Red.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for following us on this epic adventure. You can find all the episodes on YouTube as well as on Spotify and that stuff whenever I upload it. We want to thank the music peoples, all lowercase letters. That's all lowercase letters. It's in all lowercase letters. Mr. Interrupt. I want to thank Couchfire Media for the media production and all this cool artwork and switching. I want to thank Trois Productions for whatever they do. The Patreon peoples keeping us solid, keeping us honest. That is Daniel Holker, Tim Roberts, Nostalgic, and Natalia Cline. Also want to thank the cast for pretty much being here every single Monday, save for just a few. The day has been sacrosanct for a while. Previous was the Into Space campaign. Previous to that was Richmond Fay. So we're trucking along. This is Andrea Elliott-Johnson, The Drizzle, Mr. Ken Howl, and Mr. Daniel Holker. All right, y'all. We out. Everybody say bye.
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 Happy Christmas.